So this will be another video that will be focusing on some of the content that is included in the Octo Expansion art book. I will leave a link in the top right to the two previous videos that also covered content included in the art book. As always, all of the sources where I'm getting this information from will be in the description, as well as a link to Play Asia where you can buy the Octo Expansion art book for yourself. So this video will be focusing on all of the off the hook content that is included in the Octo Expansion art book. There is an article focusing on Marina, and it seems like she has a modelling career. It seems like she is a gravure idol. Now, I probably might have pronounced that word wrong. I've never heard of that word before. Looking at this Octo Expansion art book, I probably might have pronounced it wrong. But you can see the word gravure in the article. This refers to gravure idols. It seems like Marina is one of them. Now, gravure idols, they originate in Japan, and they are female Japanese models that model in magazines, art books and DVDs that mainly are targeted at men. Gravure idols emphasize their sexual attractiveness. You can see that in this article focusing on Marina. Marina, she definitely knows how to use her assets pretty much. Marina, she is posing in a way that maybe gravure idols do in real life. This is pretty cool how Nintendo are using more Japanese culture in the world of Splatoon. It seems like Marina, she is advertising or modelling for a holiday destination. You can see her posing next to a slide. That's what it looks like to me anyway. It could be something different. Thanks to Kirby Post Generator on Tumblr, we know what some of the text says in this article. Relaxing at the park, I love how the sun shines, it sparkles warmly, she says, as she flexibly stretches her body. Pearly, I wonder what you're doing right now. Having murmured this by herself, the bond between Off the Hook can be felt. I'm loving those lore details, but it's just a shame that we haven't got a proper translated version of that interview so that we could learn more about what this article is saying. We only have just one paragraph from that article, and that is it. It would be cool if we got to learn what that article is saying. So yeah, I know it is a long shot, but hopefully in the long run, hopefully we will get a full proper translated version of that art book so we can read the full article. Of course, if we ever get that, then I will bring the full article on the channel. But yeah, I definitely did find that really interesting. Now let's move on to some artwork that isn't really new. We have seen this artwork before, but I just wanted to focus on something that I didn't really mention before when this artwork did come out. It shows Pearl and Marina with Agent 8 at the end of a level when you do complete a level in the Octo Expansion DLC. It would have been really cool if, like in the concept artwork or in the artwork, it would have been cool in the final DLC if Pearl and Marina appeared in the Deep Sea Metro and at the end of levels as well. Instead of the animation we got, it would have been cool if we got to see Agent 8 alongside Off the Hook. That would have been really cool to see. Also, talking about stuff we have already seen before, in the art book there is concept artwork for Off the Hook in Octo Expansion and how they look. We have already seen that sort of stuff before, but it is really cool to see even more artwork focusing on Off the Hook and, you know, what they look like in the DLC. I guess the biggest difference between the beta version and the outfit we actually got for Off the Hook is that in the beta version they are wearing sunglasses. That would have been really cool to see in the DLC. I am a little bit disappointed that we actually didn't get Off the Hook wearing sunglasses, but I guess You can sort of recreate that look in the game if you do have the Off the Hook amiibo. Of course, you do unlock the Octo expansion Off the Hook outfits. Then you can just basically pair it with some sunglasses. Of course, you will lose the headgear that Off the Hook are wearing, but it would have been really cool to see Off the Hook wearing those sunglasses in the DLC. I was definitely a fan of the beta version. Also, the art book, it does show some concept artwork for Off the Hook's role in the final boss. That was definitely really cool to look at. Now, Cheese Doggers on Twitter pointed out something really cool that is included in this art book. There is a drawing of Off the Hook on a motorbike. Pearl is on the passenger seat. Marina is actually riding on the motorbike. This is sort of a cool reference to one of the pieces of dialogue, for I do believe it might have been Muscle Forge Fitness or Humpback Pump Track from the top of my head, where Pearl asked to ride on Marina's motorbike, I do believe. I think Marina might have said you might need stabilizers or you're too small to ride it. Something along those lines, but this is definitely referenced in the game. It's pretty cool to see that little drawing in the art book that is, of course, referencing to that piece of dialogue in the game. So just wanted to point that out. Again, you can find that image for yourself in the description. Moving on to another screenshot posted on Twitter, this time by a user called Captain Butterer. And this screenshot, it does seem to feature how Octarians are made. Definitely is really interesting to see that sort of artwork. It would have been really cool though to see that actually in the game and not just a piece of artwork. Yes, it is really cool to see this in the art book, but wouldn't it have been really cool though to see this in actual game itself, in a single player level? It would be really great to see this sort of stuff in the single player, having a couple of levels dedicated to seeing how Octarians are created. We sort of see how sanitized the Octarians are created in the DLC when we do go through the statue for the final boss phases. I think it would have been interesting though to see how Octarians in general are created. I always think it is a little bit odd how some of the cooler lore details are only existing in just text or artwork form. They don't exist in the game. It would be really cool to see this sort of stuff, not just in artworks. Yes, it is really great to see the artwork, but it would have been even better to see this sort of stuff in the single player or just in the actual game itself. It's just a shame how these are just saved for text form or just artworks. The bottom of one of the pages in Octo Expansion Art Book, it does feature an Octoling development chart. Here is what some of the text on that page does say. On the far left, you have a Twinticle Octo Trooper who is disaligned. On the far right, you can see an Octoling looking at the Inkopolis magazine, which is, of course, what this Octo Expansion Art Book is based on. The reason for the transformation of an Octoling's body is not really understood, nor does everybody really care about it. Due to the loneliness of disaligned soldiers, there are theories, but whatever the truth is, it isn't known. The time of the start of the transformation, as in the image, is estimated into stages. It is understood that one decides to slowly stretch out their body. That is really interesting how Octarians themselves are in control of their evolution, and when they decide to want to become an Octoling, they slowly stretch out their body. That is a really cool lore detail, something that I didn't really know before. This art book, I definitely did find that detail really interesting, and again, it would have been really cool to see that sort of stuff in the single player. It would have been really cool to see this sort of stuff in the actual game itself. Above that Octoling development chart, you have a couple of images that are Octoling concept artworks. We have seen those images before, but we do have some text to go alongside those artworks. With the maturation of us Octarians comes the transformation into a rather helpless shaped person, donning clothes, shoes and tentacles on the head. They seem stiff and pitiful. Underlings which quickly gain skill are said to have an advantage. The shape-shifting Octolings, like in hip hop, take on a stance in replica. Copying the clothes from Inkling magazines, they emit an aggressively old-time aura. This style seems to be one of the 80s. Due to that, there are many children who like dark, spunky style. Onto page 2, which shows Octolings in the world of Inkopolis. Basically, it represents us finally completing DLC and unlocking Octarians for use in the multiplayer. Our people, characterized by diligent honesty, go into turf wars and ranked battles with seriousness. You can see it on our faces. Though too dedicated and rather unforgiving in disputes, we know how incredibly important teamwork is. In Inkling World, the Octarians recorded in textbooks are serious and smart. So this time, let us eat our meals together. Now to end this video, I just want to read out the text that does go alongside some of the images that I did include in my last video. So the text is, emergency alert, what sanitization is. Octarians seen in the deep sea metro are different than the normal variety, being blue in colour, vacant-eyed and completely compliant to orders. This time in pursuing them, we discovered a secret. Normal Octarians passed under a machine will immediately become black-eyed with a blue body. Simultaneously, they'll lose all their memories in a terrible spectacle. We overheard the words of a nearby worker calling this sanitization, though this more or less appears to be brainwashing. I know some of the people in the comments in my last video said that it would have been really great if we actually got that lab coat as a new piece of gear. Maybe it will be coming as a salmon run reward. That would be a really cool salmon run reward, but because it is artwork and just artwork, I don't think we will see this as a salmon run reward. The Octarians working soullessly in the sanitization factory also have blue bodies. The Octarians that are packed tightly are being sent from the belly phase to respective test sites. So those Octarians you can see packed away in those IV bags are the Octarians we came up against in the levels in the DLC. That is really cool to think where those Octarians came from. Here are some details on Agent 8 and the suit that she is wearing. Let's start off with the suit. On the left you have level 0, which is the default suit. It is the soldier's battle uniform. The middle two, Agent 8 chooses between hand-me-downs from Pearl and Marina. Pearl and Marina have some comments on the fact that Pearl's clothes are too tight and Marina's are too tall. On the right is the level 3 outfit, which is a diving suit in the manner of Agent 3 and 4's sportswear. Agent 8's suit is made out of a tight material identical to that of the soldiers. It's elastic and doesn't get in the way of extreme movement and can withstand an incredible amount of damage. The ink tank also has a cute keychain attached to it. The research kit attached to the ink tank is obligated to be used when conducting a test at a deep sea metro station. Under certain conditions it will expand and it will detonate if a test is failed. Now the outfits on the bottom, the text that goes alongside one of the outfits along the bottom is the following: was considering a jailbreak suit and the 2 keychains are a Dumbo octopus and an octopus tentacle. So yeah, the Octo expansion art book has definitely included some really cool stuff in there. So yeah, that is it for the video. There will be 2 more videos on the channel that will also be focusing on the content included in the Octo expansion art book. My personal highlight from this video is the more background information we got about Marina. I definitely did enjoy hearing about how she has a modelling career outside of performing in Off the Hook. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on everything I've talked about in the video. But that is it for the video, and I will see you in my next one soon, hopefully.